Hey guys, Mark here with another edition of Weaponized Truth. So we have this big, huge thing that's been, seems like didn't make too much of major news, but it was pretty big news about these cyber attacks that happened yesterday. People posting this ransomware that apparently had got infected computers in up to, I think, like up to 100 countries. And now, apparently, this thing has already been nullified. Apparently, this ransomware sent this information to send you the stuff to download onto your computer that was going to lock it up until you got paid the ransom and got the decryption package. I guess the site that it went to hadn't been registered, and this guy on Twitter, his name was like Malware Bytes or something like that, went and registered the site, and I guess once he did that, it made these this ransomware virus completely null and void. But there's some real interesting things that have been going on. And I think a lot of people seem to have some very short-term memory. Because it's kind of incredible that I haven't heard too many people talking about some of the stuff that I want to talk to you guys about. And of course, I guess the first thing we want to get to is that Wikileaks had put in this cryptic tweet about this Vault 7 stuff that they released right before this cyber attack took off with all this ransomware stuff. And these cyber attacks were using the tools that this, were released by the shadow brokers. I think it was part of this whole Vault 7 package deal or whatever, and that's what they were using to infect all these computers. So whether the shadow brokers leak was actually part of Vault 7, I'm a little confused on whether it was or not, but that's really neither here nor there because of the tweet about this NSA spyware stuff that was released by WikiLeaks right before this stuff took off everywhere is pretty interesting. Now, once again, we have to go back and we got to talk about these puzzles that may or may not be by Cicada 3301. And this is the thing, see, they've been predicting things that are going to happen on this little puzzle. And one of the things that this thing predicted to happen was what do you call it? The release of Vault 7 by WikiLeaks, which, as you all remember, they did a series of tweets with these cryptic pictures of what is Vault 7 and where is Vault 7 and blah blah blah, and you had to go decipher the pictures to find the clues to try to figure out what it was, which is the exact same thing that they're doing in these cryptogram puzzles that may or may not be run by Cicada 3301. And of course, one of the groups that seems to be involved in this thing has a YouTube channel. It is now called Away Glitch Swan, which is an anagram for always watching. But before they were called Away Glitch Swan, they were called the Seven, right? Which sounds strangely similar to Vault 7. And these guys, they claim that they're not Cicada, or they're not Cicada 3301, they're not all these other people, but they seem to be getting involved in this puzzle. And they seem to be somehow related to this Cicada 3301 puzzle that you can find at sevens.exposed. And one of the people that's heavily involved in this thing, because apparently they've chosen this gentleman Defango as their spokesperson for this puzzle. If you go over to his channel, there's this, I guess you would call them, group of people called Tengri 137. And from what I understand from Tengri, actually, these Tengri 137 people actually coming into the chat, they seem to be some sort of aliens that have some big plan to help humanity, supposedly. Okay? Now, I don't know how much I buy into all of this, but I will have to say, uh, because of some personal experiences and some stuff that I ran into, uh, Defango has proved himself to me, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that he's a stand-up dude. I won't go into the information as why, or the whole story of what happened, but I'm just telling y'all, he seems pretty like a stand-up dude to me, due to recent events. He has come and he has had my back in a very big way, and I very much appreciate it. Now, Tengri 137, these aliens have been coming into his chat via a proxy, whatever that means. And they've been saying for days, leading up to this big, huge attack that took off worldwide, that they're getting all their friends together to prepare for their global activities. Which I find pretty interesting that they were saying this for days. And then, lo and behold, bam, we've got all these cyber attacks and ransomwares that hit over 100 countries. And a lot of people think it was a beta test because of how easy it was to cripple this ransomware simply by registering the site. Because from what they're saying, all they have to do is re-release the ransomware, register the site. And there's probably not a whole hell of a lot that people can do about it. At least not in the way that it was done this time. So once again, it's kind of hard to imagine that these people on this puzzle who predicted the release of Vault 7 on this puzzle, the same Vault 7 that WikiLeaks released in the same cryptogram puzzle type clues before it came out. These same people who are running these cryptogram puzzles predicted the release of Vault 7. They also seem to have predicted this thing in Turkey, where Erdogan got all this crazy power that he got recently. And they also have a timer still running for the puzzle that ends on June 1st, which really makes you wonder if there's some kind of huge cyber warfare thing coming that's going to happen on the 1st. Now, I'm not saying that I necessarily think that Tengri 137 or the 7 or even WikiLeaks for sure are definitely like the culprits or implicitly involved in this thing. But if Tengri 137, and I'm just, come on, we gotta consider all the possibilities. Now, if there really are aliens out there, like people like Peter Greer and Bill Cooper and some other people have suggested, then it's very possible that there are some out there who actually do want to do positive things for humanity. So it's not completely unthinkable that it could happen. I'm not saying I buy into it, because if you believe anything you hear on the internet, you're a fucking idiot. But you always have to keep your mind open to possibilities, because after the things between CERN and HARP and MK Ultra and all this other crazy stuff that they're doing, you never know what's really possible. So maybe it's also possible that there's a big group of hackers out there who are causing all this chaos because they don't want Tengri 137 to complete their plan to help humanity. I don't know. But the one thing that everybody seemed to have forgotten about that I find super interesting, because I've heard no one mention this at all, is that just a couple of days ago, Donald Trump signed an executive order about what? Big, massive overhauls for cyber warfare. And like 2-3 days after he signs the executive order, we've got one of the biggest ransomware attacks this planet has ever seen. That sounds suspicious as a motherfucker. That sounds to me like Donald Trump was warned ahead of time by his intelligence team that this was in fact going to happen, and he was trying to make whatever preparations that he could to try to get ready for it, but it happened so fast nobody could do shit. I don't know. But all this stuff is pretty strange. I don't have any answers, but I do raise some pretty interesting questions that I hope you guys will consider. This is just some stuff that I haven't heard other people talking about, and I think it's stuff that people should be talking about. So W7 did a video and said he didn't have a crystal ball and he can't tell the future, and because he said he thinks like it's a beta test for something else. Well, maybe he should keep an eye on the Cicada 3301 puzzle timer, because apparently on June 1st, this thing's supposed to pop off in a big way. And all these guys from Wikileaks and the 7 and the prediction of Vault 7 and all this stuff, they're somehow loosely connected. Now, how they are connected, I don't exactly know, but it's obvious that they are. And so you kind of put one with the other, and this big hack that was taking place, used these NSA hacking tools that are getting leaked by WikiLeaks. It all kind of starts piecing together just a little bit. So anyways, I just wanted to give you all a couple of different angles to think about this thing. And but yeah, it sure is interesting how quick this thing popped off right after Tengri started doing signups to get helpers for his global plan. And it's also very interesting how Donald Trump signed an executive order about cyber warfare, and like 3 days later the world gets hit with one of the biggest ransomware attacks this planet's ever seen. Anyways, that's all I got. You guys take care. I'll talk to y'all again soon.